Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Daniel, this is Allison, and in this video we are reviewing Psychic Pizza Delivers Go to the Ghost Town.
The Ghost Town.
From BoardGameTables.com. I don't know why I said it like it was an ad. This is not an ad, this is a review. They did send us this game to review as well as Dandelions, which we will be reviewing in a separate video. But Psychic Pizza Deliverers Go to the Ghost Town.
This is the longest name for it. Probably isn't the longest name for a game. But man, this feels like a long name for a game. And I always say it wrong, so I'm just like Psychic Pizza.
Yeah,
we're gonna play Psychic Pizza.
We're going to the Ghost Pizza. I call it the Ghost Pizza
Ghost
game.
Pizza?
Yeah,
No,
we're going.
Ghost Town.
We're playing the Ghost Pizza game.
Psychic Pizza Deliverers.
Yes.
Go to the Ghost Town.
Go to the Ghost Town.
We've said it. You know where we are.
You know what we're doing. It's also read the box. The box is right here.
Well, I will say, okay, this is a review. He's going to go over a brief overview so you kind of understand the game. My first inclination of this game as a graphic designer, I had issues with the font because it was hard for me to read it. It's not necessarily a reflection of the game, but because I tend to judge a book by its cover, it reflected it when I first saw the game. Now that we've played it, we'll go into that in a second. Yeah. You're going to tell us about a brief overview of how to play.
Psychic Pizza Delivers Go to the Ghost Town is a hidden information game. It's not a hidden movement. It's a hidden information game. So there are two different roles. There are the pizza deliverers and one mayor. So you can play from 3 to 5 players.
There's 4 of these game
right.
boards.
2 to 4 deliverers, 5 players total can play because one player is going to be the mayor. The mayor is going to set up the town in their little box. This goes in front of it like a shield so that none of the other players can see how the town is set up. And then all of the other players, the pizza deliverers, are just blindly wandering around town saying whether they want to move north, south, east, or west. And the mayor tells them what fences are around them, how many houses, how many pizzas, how many ghosts are around them. And they're trying to wander around, find a pizza, and then deliver that pizza to the matching house. It is a really fun, sometimes frustrating, just hidden information game because you're just gathering information and you're also using information from other players' maps because unless you play with the more difficult variant, you can look at the information other people gather, which is very valuable in figuring out where the heck you are in this town.
Jared loves coding and anything that, so he prefers being a deliverer and coding out and just feeling like you're a detective figuring out where you are on the map. The deduction part of this, he
really, really enjoyed.
And once you get the pizza, you then have to find and locate the house that it goes to. You're just told there's a house around you. It may not be the house that you need to deliver your jalapeno pizza to.
Yeah.
But he really liked that and puzzling that.
And we'll get
I did not prefer being a deliverer, but I loved being the mayor.
Yes, and we'll get into there's a few more elements to how to play, but we'll get into that at the end. Right now, this is a review, and you're watching this because you want to know what we think about it.
Yeah.
So what do you think about this game?
Well, now that we've played it, and I've had a few plays under my belt, I think it's fun. I would definitely play it if the boys asked.
Yeah. Initially, you weren't super enthusiastic about it.
I mean, again, I am one of those horrible...
Were you really just not enthusiastic because of the font? Or because of how the game was advertised in the gameplay?
It might be
because the gameplay did not seem to jump out at you as something
But I like hidden movement. Like I love my management. My management. I love like those type of things and like Jaws. I think that's really cool to kind of get in the other player's head when you're moving around. But the fact that I was like, the mayor can't really play. And so I felt like, because you were the mayor first, and I was like, are you going to have fun?
Oh, it was real fun, because I knew what people were walking up to.
I did not have fun as a deliverer, because I hit a portal right off the bat.
For like 3 moves in.
Right, enough moves for me to like kind of have an idea, and then be like thrown out in the middle of nowhere and not know where I'm at. There are 3 portals. One goes...
teleporters.
Yeah, teleporters, sorry. There is one teleporter that is, say you jump on the...
Well, number 1 goes to number 2, number 2 goes to number 3, and number 3 goes to number 1. So you can't just step off and step back on and go where you were.
So it's real frustrating. Yeah. That was my first play, and I was like, I don't know. Jared loved it right off the bat, and he he was like, this game rocks.
Yeah.
So Peyton really enjoyed it too.
Yeah. So to avoid confusion as we talk about this,
Sorry.
let me fill you in on the other details that you need for how to play. I'm going to move this because this is in my way.
Sorry.
So the mayor sets up the town
this is after our play, so it's not set up.
So the mayor sets up the town inside the box. It's a 7x7 grid. There are tombstones that have ghosts on them. Ghosts don't hurt you. You just can't move onto a square with a ghost. If you fight a ghost, then you get a card, you get an ability card that helps you. There are fences around the entire outside of the board, and there's fences inside in random places on the map. You can either use preset cards to set it up, or the mayor can set it up on their own, however they want to. There's also the 3 portals. You start out with mailboxes to mark where houses will go, but you don't reveal a house until a pizza has been found. So there's different kinds of pizzas, and there's matching houses. So the deliverers are going to be wandering around hoping to stumble upon a pizza. Once they stumble upon a pizza, their house appears, and then they wander around and hope to find the matching house. And you have to find the matching house because sometimes you find a house and it's not the house that you're looking for.
The mayor's like, you found a house, but they don't want your pizza.
Yes, and there are also some variants, like there's a pig and a cat there that just make animal noises when you land on them, but it helps you kind of, like if I land on a pig and it oinks, and a couple moves ago Allison stepped on a pig and it oinked, I can look over at her map, which is legal, and see, okay, like you can kind of use that to create landmarks for where you're going.
You don't have to have the cat and the pig. We only put it in the last game, and it was just another like aid to the deliverers to kind of feel out where you are on the landmarks.
Map. Yes, so so after your turn, or on your turn, you tell the mayor, I'm going to move north, south, east, or west. It's all orthogonal movement. There's no diagonal movement. So you say, I'm going to move west. You move west, and after you move, they say they tell you if there is a fence to your north, south, east, or west, but they don't tell you if it's one of these fence tokens or the edge of the board. And then they tell you how many ghosts, pizzas, and houses are in the 8 spaces around you. So you have that information, but you don't know specifically where the ghost pizzas and houses are. You just have to figure that out as you go. If you figure out where a ghost is, instead of moving, you can say, I'm going to attack to the east. If there's a ghost there, then you attack the ghost, you're successful. The ghost is no longer on the map, and you get one of these cards that you can play as your action on your turn. And those cards just do things like one of them is a diagonal sprint, so where you
can move diagonally.
Yeah, so you say, I want to move northeast, and you go as far as you can. The mayor tells you how many spaces until you hit a fence, and you just move as far as you can until you hit a fence. So that's the basic gameplay. It's just mapping this out, figuring out, okay, I found the western wall or the eastern wall, and I'm going to move around and kind of, okay, now I can look over at Peyton's map and see he has this same pattern of fences, so I think I know what that side looks like. And it's really just deduction based on your map and what you get.
But when you hit a portal, man, it mixes it all up.
All that happens when you hit a portal
is that you're here, and then you hit a portal, and then you don't know where. Yeah,
the mayor just says you stepped on a portal. Surprise.
So like you can see on this one, Daniel was here, and then when he went on the portal, he just made a little area over here.
Yeah, you just start anew because you don't know where you are.
Yeah, this is just a 7x7, so it's bigger than your grid map, which you have these really cool icons here that kind of guide you as a deliverer to remind you that, remember, the town map is only 7x7, that type of thing. So you can kind of plan out, and it's like, okay, if I'm in this area, it's just here, so I can kind of move around up here and put my information back in the map when I figure out where I'm at.
Yeah.
So there's that type of thing of piecing things together. Now, I will say component-wise, I enjoyed the components. The markers are great, and we're kind of picky about our dry erase markers. They're great.
They're nice, sharp-tipped. They're stiff-tipped. They
don't erase themselves.
The marker quality
is something to note.
Is a 7.5 out of 10.
There we go. Are you going to do that to all of the markers? Daniel's rating.
Yes.
The ghosts are a lot of fun. They have different faces, and I do enjoy how they have, like, there's the house, here's the pizza on the map, there's where you place that, so when this pizza is picked up, you then place the house on it. I like that element. The one issue I have, cards are great. They're okay, and they're fine quality.
Good quality cards.
My only issue component-wise is how close the red and the orange on the map are.
Yes.
You can barely
That's not a camera trick. You can barely tell the difference between them.
Now, these do look different, the meeples, so they're different enough. But as far as knowing where you're placing and starting, so we never played with the orange player. We just played with the red because we just had a 4-player game.
Like, I was setting up initially, and I couldn't figure out why there were 2 red squids. It's that close to each other.
That's the only component issue.
Not a huge deal. And once you start, like, this is just these squares are to mark where the players start on the map. So once they start, you have the meeple moving around the map. So it resolves itself. But that was, now, I was the first person to play as the mayor, which put me in charge of setting up the game. And I have to say, one of my big frustrations with the game is the rules. Because there are very, very limited rules, and then there are reference sheets. So it does have some rules, but it just felt like the rules were spread out in so many different ways. Like you have the setup.
Well, it has the rules of the game, but the setup's a little confusing.
It has the setup, but the setup doesn't tell you how to set up. To set up, you need to go to the town building guide, and then the town building guide tells you to, like, the mailbox tiles, place a mailbox tile matching each pizza token. Do not place the house tokens. In order to figure out when the house tokens come out, you have to go to the reference sheet that tells the mayor what to do when a player moves onto a space with a mailbox, which I don't even see here. Oh, if there's a pizza token, when they land on a pizza token, you place the matching house tokens on the corresponding mailbox tile. So it just felt, I would have much rather had a set of rules that said, when you are setting up, you are going to place the fence tiles and the tombstone tiles, and you're going to place the mailbox tiles, but not the house tokens, because the house tokens will come out once someone finds the matching pizza. Just that. It felt like, for me, my first time playing it as the mayor, I had to go and search for the information that I needed to play the game effectively, because yes, it technically walked me through all of the setup, but there was not one place that I could go for information on what I was going to do in my role.
Right. And then once you learned all that,
it was great.
Right. I didn't even really need to. I think there was just a couple questions I had when I set up. You set up randomly. Like, you did your own town. I used one.
I didn't realize those were a thing when I set up.
I chose to do one of the ghost town setup guides.
Yeah, there's different.
So I just picked. We were having 3 delivers, so I picked one of the blue cards with 3 delivers, and I flipped it over.
These just have a whole layout.
And on the map. Because I have pregnancy brain, I was like, I need someone to help me set this up. So as long as no one has memorized these cards, then you're good to go. So I set up that way, and I actually really enjoyed it. It made me feel like a dungeon master almost.
It was a little bit, yeah.
It just had that, like, I know what's going on.
Yeah, that's how you're the GM. You're the game master in the...
It was really fun. One thing, as the mayor, is I got mixed up with who was what color. Mm-hmm. So a few times, like when we first started playing, you were orange at first, and I moved the gray.
Yeah, so Jared and I switched colors.
Yeah, so they ended up switching colors because it was right at the beginning. And so as the mayor, it was the next person. I was like, okay, you're red. Right. So then I'd focus on the red. Like, every time they were about to play, I said either in my head or out loud what color they were, so that I knew I was moving the right character. Because you could really mess the whole game up if you're moving the wrong character and giving them the wrong information.
Or if you move a player to the east and they said they want to go to the west.
No, you said east.
Or if you moved to the west when you accidentally said you wanted to move to the east.
There we go.
We don't know what happened in that game.
We weren't recording that game.
But I was lost.
He was like, I don't know where I am. So, and then you stepped on a cat. Get me out.
So all in all, like, I have really enjoyed this game. Again, once we figured out the rules stuff, and it's just the rules seemed too spread out, and that is my real only beef with the game, is there is not a clear, cohesive set of, like, here's how you play, here's how you set up, and here's how stuff triggers. You have to go through reference sheets to figure out information. That was frustrating to me. That may be fine for you. That's not a reason to not play the game. Just know that going in, the rules are could be better. But the gameplay itself, really enjoyed. I really enjoyed, as the mayor, watching everybody try and figure out where they were.
I think I would prefer being the mayor.
And I was so upset our first game, because Allison stepped on the portal and she was so frustrated because she just shot across the map, and then here she was walking back around, and she was 2 spaces away from stepping on another portal. Actually, she made her way around and was about to step on the same portal that she stepped on the first time from the other direction.
That would have been hilarious.
Right before,
I would have been so mad.
2 spaces before she did, she figured out where she was, and she got it drawn out on her map so she knew where she was, and that she was about to step back on that portal, and she didn't. But I was just waiting for her to say, I want to move to the west, and be like, you stepped on a portal. So It
and
is.
As far as I would know, it was a different portal. I wouldn't know it was the same one.
So all of the roles are fun. I think it's a great, like some games we have found really you need to play with peer groups. This one translates well for kids because the kids are doing their own little puzzle thing.
And if you're learning, like, I mean, I'm game schooling mom. I'm gearing up for homeschool right now. And doing like geography and mapping and things like that, that is an excellent
And it's nice
thing.
that you say like
East and West and moving like
East and West versus up and down and left like that, that you give those cardinal directions.
And you're creating your own map. Like, so good for learning longitude and latitude and that type of thing. So if you're looking for something like that as a game schooler or just like wanting to have your kid understand that, this is a great one for that as well.
Yeah, so all in all, we thoroughly enjoyed this game. Once we learned how to figure it out.
Now that I got over the topography of it.
It fully took a few turns into one play to really understand what we were doing. The rules are super simple. It's really family friendly. It's really kid friendly. There's language dependence wise, there's some writing on these cards, but as far as the core gameplay, the mayor needs to be able to read the reference cards, know what they're doing. But the rest of it is just moving around and kind of drawing on your map and using the key here to know what's around you. And really just that deduction puzzle was really, really fun and fun to watch the other people kind of with your hidden information as the mayor, knowing what's coming up.
So thank you so much, BoardGameTable.com, for sending us.
What was also fun was when two people were near each other on a map and you'd say like, okay, there's one ghost around you, and they figure out the ghost is to the east of me, but there's another player on the other side of the ghost and they attack that ghost.
Okay, I didn't tell you.
And then you attack back and you're like, there's no ghost around. You're like, wait.
There was just a ghost.
But then you also figure out, oh, that's where, like, I know where I am.
During the middle of the last game when I was the mayor, all three of you, Peyton and Jared, were on the same tile and you were right next to them. And I so bad wanted to be like, you guys are all just buddying up. But I had to be quiet. But it was like,
you also don't tell people if you're on the same tile as someone else. You really, it's all about finding the landmarks.
It is so fun being the mayor. Like, the deliverer I had fun being the deliverer, but being the mayor was like my favorite. So thank you so much, BoardGameTable.com, for sending us this game to review. We have it, really enjoyed it. We will leave links below where you can check it out. It is a Gen Con release, and you can, I think it's all been delivered to the backers.
I believe it will be available at Gen Con if you want to go by their booth and find it, and then available afterwards, as far as I understand. So,
so why don't you check it out, and
you can find it.
Love to hear what you think about it as well.
Yes.
We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.